and then we're gonna go. Oh goodness, what's that about?
Yeah, let's talk about it. Dropping the mask we wear day to day, building real trust in a brand new way. For a deeper connection, let's explore on transparent conversations. Transparent conversations, where every word can open doors. Transparent conversations. Yeah, let's talk about it.
Hey, welcome to my podcast, Transparent Conversations, Elevated Exchanges, on my YouTube channel by the same name, and also on my Substack by the same name, Transparent Conversations, Elevated Exchanges. I am your boy, your host, CPJR, or actually I'm Calvin, aka CPJR or CPGR 300 if you feel me. Welcome back if you're here. If you're here again, you're returning, and welcome back. Welcome is this is your first time actually catching it. This recording. The light is blue, so if you know, you know. We're gonna get started. We got a lot to get through tonight because there's a lot going on. I mean, this is a lot, and I think it's a lot going on because there's a lot of things we didn't know. I didn't know. I'm gonna put it on me. I'm gonna use I words. I didn't know. So, yeah, like I said, if you're here for the first time, please share, and please subscribe and comment. Let me know what you like or dislike about this. Let me know if I can do something better. Please visit my sponsors. Use the affiliate link if you're in the market for trying some new type of sausages and things like that. And I think I'm gonna go ahead and get that out the way now too. So basically, I have a sponsor. It's affiliate link. So if you like this sponsor and you go to if you go to their site, bigforkbrands.com, they have what's called bacon sausages. They're out of Chicago. They also have a lot of sauces. So if you're ever in the market for that, please go to bigforkbrands.com. Use my code word elevate, and then you will get 20% off and some good food. So we'll pause a minute for get this sponsor out the way, and then we'll get started.
Have you been hearing about all the negative news on hyper-processed food lately? I know the New York Times podcast, The Daily, was just talking about it. Well, here at Big Fork, we do things a little differently than the big food companies. Let's use our Kraft pork jerky, for example. Think of it as caveman jerky, where it's just dried and naturally smoked pork. Yeah, we add a little cane sugar, but that's just to balance out the sea salt. The sea salt's in there so it doesn't go bad. It's the natural preservative us humans have been using for thousands of years. So each bag of jerky contains only 100 calories and 11 grams of lean protein. The jerky is made in the USA, gluten-free and soy-free. Instead of supporting the big food companies owned by Big Tobacco, consider supporting small, family-owned companies like Big Fork, trying to do the right thing.
All right. So just take you to their website and let you know that is a real website called bigforkbrands.com where you can go and check them out, see what you want to taste, see what you like. It sounds delicious. I definitely going to try it myself. We had our first cookout actually this weekend or last weekend for my nephew for his birthday. We had a blast. I did most of the grilling and cooking. That's one thing we do over here. The men of this family do like to cook. And my daughter was joking with us when she was here last, and she was saying that if anybody wants to date her or get with her, they're gonna have to know how to cook, because my father, his brother, and their father all know how to cook and cook. So, if you want to get with my daughter, you need to know how to cook. So, gentlemen, please learn how to cook. I mean, I think it's something that you should do. I don't know. I've always cooked for myself, cooked for my family, because I enjoy it. I like to cook what I like to eat. So check them out, bigforkbrands.com, and use my code word Elevate, get yourself 20% off, and be the star of the cookout with some good bacon sausage. All right, let's get started. So, excuse me. So, what I want to start on right now, the biggest thing that I see is one of the biggest problems that we're seem to be facing, and what has happened to this nation is we didn't know what was going on with Israel. We didn't know they spend a lot of money. So apparently, we give them $4 billion a year and weapons and all that kind of stuff for support. And anytime they get in trouble, we jump back in there, jump back into the Gulf like we're their big brother, and we try to rescue them or support them as much as possible. I think we all grew up with the belief that Israel was our friend, and for some reason in the Gulf, that Gulf region, they're always at war, right? Don't know why they're all at war. They're just all at war. So it seems like they try to frame it as if Islam, the Muslims, are just violent. They want to kill everybody. They want to kill each other, and they want to kill Jews. That's how we were raised, and that's what we were indoctrinated to believe. You didn't hear anything different from the movies, from the media, from the news. That was the narrative. And I grew up. I'm 60 now, so I grew up definitely in the 70s, and I remember the Iran hostage situation. I remember they let the black people go. And I remember that it was a long, drawn out ordeal. They couldn't rescue them. They couldn't get them out. But we never really was taught or talked about what really caused that situation. Like what was really going on in Iran, to the point where they took the Americans hostage that were in the embassy. Now we know the truth, right? A lot of us know the truth. Some people don't. Some people seem to have forgotten about the fact that there was a Shah of Iran that was installed by the Americans and the British, and that was done because Iran wanted their oil money. And being the Zionist imperialists that the British and the American were, they came up with a plan because they want the money. Our country wants the money, right? Britain wants the money. The oil is on their land, under their land, in the ground. They have first rights to it. They have first rights to sell it to who they want to sell it to, and they have first rights to not sell it who they want it to, and they have a rights to do with the profits as they want to do. But apparently, if you don't do it correctly, they will start a war with you and then take it, or find a way to take it. So right now, we're suffering from many years of misinformation and many years of Iran living under sanctions and unable to actually develop into the nation they want to develop into. Under the Shah, it was a very cosmopolitan nation. Like I said before, I've met people from Iran, and they were always very friendly, highly educated, articulate, all those good things. So I don't have the feeling of them just being the number one state sponsor of terror, or if they want a bloodthirsty, they just want a nuclear weapon so they can wipe out Iran. I don't have that belief. I don't think they have that belief either, the people in this country. I think what they see is they want the oil, and they want to be able to control that country. And also, Iran has never showed any respect to Israel, and they shouldn't have. They always get you on the question of, do you believe that Israel has a right to exist? And I heard the way that Tucker Carlson handled that question on an interview, and it's like, what? Who has a right to exist? It exists. What does that mean? But you have a right to defend. Go back into time, right? Go back in time, and you don't see. Or there was, I don't know, maybe there was some Israelis there or some Jewish people there. From what I can tell, the people that were in Palestine were able to live their life with their religion with no issue. Now, the issue wasn't the fact that Jews were coming to live in Palestine. The issue was the Jews that moved to Palestine from Europe decided that this is our land. and they come up with this thing about they had a right to it from the Bible, and they were just returning to the land. They weren't from the land; they were from Europe. There's no biblical. No biblical. The Bible's not admissible in court. I don't really care what the Bible says. There's no time that they lived in that land and then it went to Europe. Right? It's Palestine, and China has China going crazy. China is going to be they're going to be the new world leader. I believe that because they have taken. I don't think Israel can infiltrate our country and spread their money around, and I think it's a grift, and spread their money around and influence our politics. You can't do that in China. China has removed Israel from the map and returned it to Palestine. It's Palestine now, as it should be. Because China's like, you have nothing that we need. You have nothing that we need. We need that area to be peaceful and prosperous. Right, so we could buy oil from them at their price, and we can have them develop. Because we're not gonna put up with that bull mess, that crap that you have talking about. This is your land, but the people have been living there for thousands of years, right? So we're learning the truth, and the problem with us learning the truth now at this point is that what happened? What happened to our media? What happened to the truth? What happened to us really learning what was going on in Israel? What happened to us really learning how psychotic the Zionists are and how brutal? And they're brutal. They're not only brutal to Palestinians and other Muslims in the area, Arabs in the area. They're brutal to their own people. Jewish people are brutal to any Jewish person that doesn't want to support the idea of Zionism and Israel, right? They are brutal to their own people, and we're seeing it every day, but we never saw it before. The only reason we're seeing it now is because of places like mine and other places of independent media, people who are speaking up. Now, before this all got to this point, when this first started after October 7th, we all seemed to be a bit afraid to say anything about what was really going on with the genocide, because it seemed like to say anything against Israel was to be called anti-Semitic. And once you're called anti-Semitic, you have to worry about your job. You have to worry about everything. The problem with Israel is so insidious that other countries are passing laws to outlaw anti-Semitism and anti-Zionism, right? Like we have the ability to talk about our country. We have free speech, right? To talk about our country, our leaders, all we want to. We have free speech, meaning that the government has no right to stop our speech or prosecute us for our speech. Or we have anything to say, or we're judgmental about our leaders or our country. Now, the fact that some politicians in this country think that it should be against the law to talk about Israel is insane. It's insane. It shows the power of Israel. Now, here's the power of Israel. I think we need to understand. It's money. It's based on money. And I think, for me, I always think about the grifts. Like this whole thing with the ICE and DHS, that big sum of money that was approved for them and these centers. And then what's going on in New Jersey right now with Delaney. And the amount of money that's flowing into pockets from private prisons and these people who are also working for ICE, that money is all coming in, is being grifted away. Israel has stated that they're going to up their spend they're trying to get, because they see the problem now, right? They're going to try to win back America's support by spending $750 million. And that money goes straight to influencers who are going to talk up and talk good about Israel. But I don't think they understand that the fact that once we see something in this country and we know it's wrong, we just don't turn around, right? So that money is going to be spent for bad. Now, I'm not going to say like it can't be done, because it can be done, because it's money. Money affects everything in this country. Everything in this country. And that's how this has been done. When we were online and we're saying like Kyrie Irving, he suggested a book, they made that man apologize because they accused him of being anti-Semitic. Now, he could have stood 10 toes down and said hell no, but he was still playing, and I can see why he did what he did. But would that happen now? No. It wouldn't happen now, because now we know that anti-Zionism is not anti-Semitic. And then also we know that you're using the word incorrectly. You're European Jews, you're not Semitic. They have outlawed blood tests. Like, we can't even do DNA tests to see where these people actually came from. It's a total sham. Now, do they want to feel safe after the Holocaust? I guess. I don't know. You just have to ask them, because they don't really talk about the Holocaust, but all they know is the whole world needs to bend over to protect them, and they will do whatever it takes to protect them. So it's like, once I started this after last year and what was going on, I seen that we need to put out more content that shows more progressive liberal content to counteract the content that's out there about conservatism and now Zionism, that we needed to be able to counteract that with us putting out content that shows what we believe and how we need to get back to ourselves. So that's why I'm doing what I'm doing, because I could just add to the algorithms. Now, did I think I could be targeted for that? Yes. If these laws pass, and the way that Israel is talking, they are talking as if they will go after people who put out anti-Zionist content. I don't know how they're going to do it. They'll figure it out. We already know that they're already trying to get into our military, get access to what the military has access to, the CIA, the surveillance systems. They brag about being able to track everyone and then influence everyone. So that's coming, right? The negative side is coming. But for the life of me, I couldn't just say, I'm afraid, I'm not going to do it. I couldn't, because this is the fight now, right? This is the fight now. I always wonder about people that want to live in a bunker after the bombs fall. I don't want to live in a fascist state, right? I'm always going to choose to fight. I'm always going to choose to be on the other side, because living with the oppression is worse than being dead. I'd rather be dead than live under oppression, right? That much oppression, let me say that, because us as black people, we live under a certain amount of oppression all the time. But to live under oppression where words are, like we have freedom of speech, like words can get you locked up, that's just too much. And then what they really want to do is actually take over the country. Now, we don't know how. We have a pretty good idea, because I think their numbers coming out how much money they have put into our elections, and then we know the number of elected officials who have taken money. It's like 400 something that have taken money. The majority of politicians that are in our government right now on the federal level, the people in Washington D.C. have taken money from Israel or pro-Israel lobbies. PACs or lobbyists. So, and the only reason that money is in there is to influence the vote. Any vote that goes that is for Israel, they want to influence that vote, and they want to control the narrative. But the narrative only got out today because of independent media. The broadcast stations are pretty much gone. It's pretty much gone. And they weren't doing their job anyway, because we never saw what we're seeing now. That flotilla that was captured in international waters and the people were tortured, we would have never known about it. We would never get the images of what happens to the prisoners, how they're starving the people, the way they treat Palestinians. We would have never known. We hear about it, but we don't actually get to see it. But now we're getting to see it. Now, here comes the elections. We have to really deal with our politicians. And as you see up at the top, votelog.org and trackapac.com. Those are the sites that will help you make a decision if you want to vote for your representative, and if you want to see how much are they in the pocket of Israel? Who do they support? Do they support you or do they support Israel? I know that my representative in Maryland, 4th Congressional District, I've already said this all the time, Glenn Ivey, is in the pocket of Israel to the point, the figure is $7 million. $7 million. He got that money, and he wouldn't have won the election to get the pro-Palestinian, anti-Israel candidate Donald Edwards out of office if he wouldn't have got that help from Israel. Now, here's the strange part. We just got a post on Rogue DNC about Planned Parenthood. Planned Parenthood endorsed Glenn Ivey, right? So I've got to think that some of that money went to Planned Parenthood for them to endorse Glenn Ivey. Because why? Because that's not making any sense. Planned Parenthood is endorsing the candidate who is firmly in the pockets of Israel. So maybe they vote, that's what I'm saying. They can get in office and vote however they want to vote, except when it comes to voting for issues of Israel. So obviously, he must have gave them a donation, some money, or helped them vote. Now, Takia Johnson, she's on that post and she's zero. She's track AIPAC recommended, has taken zero money from the pro-Israel lobby or AIPAC or anything like that. And she's straight up are telling us that she's actually done more for women than Glenn Ivey. So that's my candidate. I hope I get to vote for her. I'm independent. I can't vote in the primaries. It's up to you, Democrats, my next door neighbors, to do the right thing and vote for the right candidate and get these AIPAC Democrats out of office, because things like 224 and the Defense Authorization Bill, the funding bill that is trying to tie Israel's military to our military, and they share intelligence, technology, that can't happen. I don't know why that's there. We know why it's there. Another pro-Israel Republican in Texas slid that into the bill. And luckily, I think Ro Khanna and Thomas Massey are on it. Ro Khanna is the one that actually can get it before it gets out of committee, to get it out of the bill, because it shouldn't be there. It's amazing that we have to pay attention every day, and that's why I have these websites up here, because you need to really, you have to decide, right? You have to decide because most of the candidates have taken money from Israel, but like I say, on the votelog.org, they do grade the politicians, the representatives. They grade them on how pro-Israel they are, on how pro-Palestinian they are, and that, for me, that's the litmus test, because that tells me if you're a person of character, if you believe that women and children shouldn't be killed, if you believe that non-combatants shouldn't be killed, if you believe that whole neighborhoods shouldn't be flattened and bombed, then you're going to be pro-Palestine. And you're going to believe that the genocide happened and is happening, and you're not going to be afraid to talk about it. Once I see that you are, then I know where you stand, and it's not with us, it's with a foreign government. Period. And that's what the problem that we're having now, right? So the thing about Jasmine Crockett that happened last week, I came out and said something about it. She's only taking like $4,000. You can look her up on Track AIPAC or votelog.org, and you'll see that the money she's taking isn't that much. Now, she is a bit pro-Palestine because she's voted for some bills that benefited them in a way that helped them with the genocide. But all of them have, really. No, I can't say all of them have. The progressive ones hadn't. AOC, Warren, Bernie, they haven't. because they understand. They actually understand what's going on. They try to tell us, but we don't listen. The DNC is junk, trash. They got to get that guy out of there, the leader, because he's a empty suit and a liar. And that's that. So back to Jasmine Crockett. Now, she did come out and endorse an AIPAC candidate, $13 million. I think it was Illinois, who unseated Corey. I forgot her name. Unseated a progressive liberal Democrat, progressive Democrat, not liberal, and to the tune of $13 million. They spent $13 million to get that seat. And she endorsed him. And it, to me, when her seat was gerrymandered, like Texas gerrymandered her seat, so she won't be reelected to that seat. It's gone. So when Talarico announced his candidacy, his candidacy to be a senator for Texas, it was all of a sudden that Jasmine Crockett decided to run for Senate. Now, when I heard that, I kind of didn't understand it. I didn't understand it because even if you look on her record on Track AIPAC or that, she doesn't sponsor the bill. You know what I'm saying? She co-sponsored some bills, and she's very good when they're debating. She doesn't take any gumph. She's very good with that. But I don't see any bills being sponsored. Like, what has she really done? I'm sure she would have made a great senator if she would have won. But the fact that she ran at that time is kind of suspicious. I'm sure that AIPAC doesn't want Talarico in office. I'm sure of that. And I know the Republicans don't. So apparently, and I remember this, right? Like, okay, during the election, everyone was taking up sides. We had a lot of people who were saying they couldn't vote for Kamala because of her stance on the genocide, and she seemed to be pro-Israel. Biden is a Zionist. He said it. He's a Zionist, and I think a lot of that comes from just the lack of truth that we were getting from our media. Remember, we have not seen what we're seeing now. We have not seen it. The Israeli Jews are a mess. They are a mess, and they are dangerous. So there was everybody knows Amanda Seal. Amanda Seal, I followed her. I liked her in the beginning. She's very brash, but she was, and I actually unfollowed her during that time because she was just like, these people are pro-Palestine. I remember saying that. Pro-Israel. I remember her saying even Jasmine Crockett was pro-Israel, but I'll just play this. I'll play this to remind us, and then I'll come back and talk about it.
So I have a very genuine question for supporters of Jasmine Crockett in Texas. What are you willing to do to get her through the primary? She was always going to be a long shot because she is a black woman with a very limited record in a state that is 100% racist and Zio and gerrymandered out the hootenanny. Like, even before it was exposed that she is 100% in support of Israel, even before many of the people in her state who are very unrelenting on that fact said we will not vote for her, it was still going to be a long shot. You were still going to need to get behind her in a very real way. Did you think that was simply just voting? Did you think that you simply voting for Jasmine Crockett was going to be enough for her to win the primary, let alone the Senate seat? What are you prepared to do to actually support this candidate versus trying to shame those of us who do not support her support of an apartheid genocide state that is actually using your tax dollars?
Support a real one.
So she was going hard for Palestine back then, and I think it like scared all of us. Like, oh my God, you're not. We gotta not let Trump come in because of Party 2025, and that's what we were zeroing in on. He got in anyway. He got in anyway. A lot of people didn't vote, and that's what's going to happen. That seems to be what's going to happen again. That's why I say the Democrats might not win, because as we see, where are the Democrats? I keep saying it. Where are I don't hear anything from them. I think the Democratic Party is in a bad shape right now. It's in bad shape. It's in bad shape because of the grift, because of all the money that they've gotten, and they're scared to. Once you take the money, you took the money, so now you're in. Like when the new rookie cop comes in, and all the other cops are on take, they gonna give him the money and tell him you have to take the money to let us know that you're in. Then once you take the money, you're guilty with us. Now you're part of the team. Now if you take the money and go against the team's gonna come against you. So they know, just like John Cronin just found out, once Trump endorsed the Ken Paxton, he was out. And they went out, and now they have the candidate they want, Ken Paxton. And John Cronin's out. After being 24 years, they got him out. And they went with someone who's a horrible person. It was really an evil person, Ken Paxton. But that's how it works, right? Once you take the money, you didn't win on your own. You didn't win on your own merit and on your own ideas and gumption and drive. You won because you took the shortcut. The shortcut is taking the money from Israel. So now you're worried about if you don't take the money from Israel, or you don't do what Israel tell you to do, they're gonna go out and do the exact same thing for someone else and give them the money, right? So if you're running just to be in office, if you're not running to do something, then this is what happens to you. Because once you take that money, you're in, and then you're gonna not do what they want to do. They're gonna come after you, and that's what we see every day. So this is the thing about now the money. See, the money for Jasmine Crockett, she hasn't taken a lot. It's like $4,000. So I think what happened after the endorsement of that candidate, her response was what got her. She's a fighter, and then she wants to fight. No, people want to understand. You did it. We see it. And I think that because we now have independent media, we see things now. It's not hidden. Only the worst, dumbest people still watch only. I'm not going to say that. Wait a minute. Only people who haven't caught on yet that the media is highly censored, very censored. The real news is not getting out. Because if you're not actually doing that means that if you're not actually out here doing your own work, finding reliable sources, then you're still believing the lie, right? So when she came out, and then she even had supporters come out attacking people. And calling everyone dumb because of what we saw. Like, we saw an endorsement. You can't tell us it wasn't an endorsement, right? So hats off to Amanda Seale. I'm following her again. She was right. She was right. And it didn't matter. It did not matter what we thought or what we wanted to happen. What happened. Trump still won. All right. So that's my first video. That's my mea culpa to Amanda Seale. She was right. And I'm going to give her flowers. All right, so we're gonna go on. This is pretty much gonna be a Zionist thing, right? Because it has to. We have to keep seeing it. I think we have to keep seeing it to understand where we are. Our country is compromised. Our politics are compromised. To have Netanyahu come out and say he's gonna increase the money he spends to influence the young Americans, get them back on the thing after what we've seen. It's just crazy to me. And then to see what happened today with Britain not allowing... All right, so what is it? The guy from Young Turks and then his, I don't know, Hassan Piker was his brother, cousin? I don't know, something like that. They were supposed to go to India for South by Southwest over there in London, Britain, England. And they were denied entry after he said that England is controlled by Israel. So is America. Then they turned around and told him he can't come in to the country. We don't know how much our governments are compromised. We have no idea. For them to ban someone from coming in their country because of what they said is crazy, and it's just so deep and insidious. And these countries, they're scared. they're scared. I think they're scared of being called Nazis or anti-Semites. When you see something wrong happening and not say anything, you're part of the problem. So we're gonna really stay in that vein right now, because I think that's what we need to really talk about and understand. Like this election is more than just about getting Trump out of office. We got to understand that we need to get Israel out of our politics also. And to me to think about that, I could be arrested for that is crazy, right? Because that's what they want to do. All right, so we're going to talk about this next video is going to be on 224, and the fact that, something that we didn't vote for or want, they just decided it's something that they need to do. So who does your representative represent, you, or do they represent Israel?
All right, so there's been a lot of talk over the past 24 to 36 hours about Section 224 of the 2027 National Defense Authorization Act. Now, Section 224 was forced into the NDAA by Congressman Ronnie Jackson from Texas. And before he was a member of Congress, Ronnie Jackson was the White House physician under the first Trump administration. He was actually accused of turning the first Trump White House into a massive pill mill. But let's stay on topic here. We've got much bigger fish to fry today regarding the occupation of this country and the installation, not just of a foreign military, but a foreign surveillance state over the American people. Because if you actually look in to Section 224, you'll find it listed among the top priorities of the U.S. Congress. It's not just merging American troops and American military hardware with Israel. It's merging America's AI infrastructure and autonomous weapons systems with Israel as well. They keep telling us that all these data centers, thousands of them, they're vital to national security. Well, now, under the 2027 NDAA, Israel will gain access to them, which has always been the plan. These data centers, they aren't about powering ChatGPT on your smartphone. They aren't about keeping you safe. They're about powering a surveillance state that reports back to Greater Israel, the Talmudic super state that Americans are paying for right now in blood and treasure. The government just admitted this morning more Americans have been wounded, likely more killed in the Middle East as this war for Israel drags on. And if you don't like this data center overhaul, if you don't like this merger with Israel, then the Department of Homeland Security, the FBI, the Department of Defense, they will flag your Palantir profile. They will label you a national security threat, and they will share that information with their foreign friends. This isn't a conspiracy theory. This is congressional legislation, active congressional legislation, completely surrendering American sovereignty and American humanity to a foreign country.
Now, what's scary about that is that's exactly what they say. You hear the exact same words. And I'm going to play the next video from the CEO of the ADL, what is it? Oh yeah, Anti-Defamation League. The Anti-Defamation League. The guy who fights anti-Semitism. He fights anti-Semitism, and he has a very strange way of talking about it. So they wanna track us. Right, they want access to our databases, and I've said over and over again on this podcast, YouTube channel, recording. I said over and over again, that's too many data centers just for some retail. Trying to serve like retail customers, corporate customers. That's too many. That has to be government money. It has to be government money. And then when you think about the fact that Larry Ellison, the one who bought TikTok, Oracle, when you think about him buying all the channels, he's giving money to the IDF, then it clicks in that we're being occupied. We're being taken over by a government that's been purchased by people with a lot of money, and then now they want to start monitoring us. So this is the Anti-Defamation League CEO telling his people how he wants to get control of this country. And you could not believe me or not. You could think it's a joke. Oh, that's not. Oh.
I mean, Israelis tourists doing things like this in Thailand or Philippines is not new.
That was the wrong video. I'm sorry. That was the wrong video. That's a video showing how apparently in Asian companies, Israelis don't like being disrespected or talked to a certain way. So that woman was taking a crap on the floor of an establishment, and apparently it's all over in Asian countries that Israelis act very rude, and I think they're banned from Malaysia. Like, can't come in because I'm telling you, if you don't think this is true, they believe that they're better than everyone because they're the chosen people. And to see a woman take a crap on a floor, I've shown videos of how they talk to other people in other countries. And that's not an isolated. The thing about this is it's not like isolated. It's not an isolated incident, and it's also not talked about in our media at all. Now, all these companies, we talk about public radio, National Public Radio. We talk about 60 Minutes. All these great shows. I've never heard it talked about. If Israelis are banned from Malaysia, shouldn't we be talking about that? Like, why? And I've heard they have a real problem with using the bathroom outside, even in Israel. I don't know what that's about. That was the wrong video. That was a video of me just showing an example of how Israelis act in other countries. So take note. That's what we're dealing with. And that's what we're dealing with. Now, here's how the Anti-Defamation League wants to continue to influence our country and our politics and tell us what to do.
I am a proud Jew. I'm an unapologetic Jew. I'm a Zionist Jew. So we don't exist for some universalist ideal. We exist to protect the Jews.
But we use cutting-edge AI tools to analyze the endless online chatter.
We monitor them online, social media, messaging apps, video games, cryptocurrency, podcasts, short-form video, Wikipedia, LLMs. We monitor these people and we share the intelligence with the FBI.
Now, is that crazy, though?
I am a proud Jew. I'm an unapologetic Jew. I'm a Zionist Jew. So we don't exist.
So that's the CEO of the Anti-Defamation League saying he openly wants to monitor all of us and then report us to the FBI. Now, he's saying that he wants to protect the Jews, but he lives here. I think he lives here, and he's not talking about over there in Israel. He's talking about here in America and reporting Americans to the FBI for doing what? What is against the law? See, anti-Semitism, whatever it is, you want to say it's not against the law, right? It's speech. It's speech, right? It's not against the law. So what is it reporting to the FBI? These are just questions, right? These are the questions that we should be asking ourselves. And if you aren't asking yourselves any of those questions, I don't know, maybe you're part of the problem. Wake up. Because this wasn't, because I have to be honest with myself also. I wasn't aware. I wasn't aware of all this until now, and I'm shocked that it came. Like I said, I'm shocked that it came out. That it actually is a thing that we have to actually deal with more and deal with the nut that's in the White House who has us in a war in Iran, in an endless war that he doesn't. You can't trust nothing they say. They talked about a ceasefire and then bombed Iran yesterday. Right, and now we have Hezbollah threatening to bomb Israel, and we have Iran threatening to bomb Israel, and we have Israel threatening to bomb Beirut and occupy Beirut. It's just a mess. It's just a mess. Now, if endless wars, who is in the endless wars? It's not Arabs. It's Israelis. Am I being over dramatic? Am I saying too much? I don't know. I don't know. It's just a scary situation to see. Like the fact that the fact that to know Israel wouldn't be anything without the support of America, and it's like, why are we supporting them? What do we get from them? Because we don't get anything from them. They take everything, we get nothing. And they have universal health care, and we don't. We don't. We all have to worry about getting sick and going bankrupt, but they don't. They get $4 billion a year. All right, let's talk about the Democratic Party and Israel.
Hi there. Do you want to see why moderate Democrats are actually a threat to democracy? Take a look.
Yeah, I mean, the main race really demonstrates the civil war that's happening within the Democratic Party. And there are a lot of Democrats, moderate Democrats like myself, who will not cry tears should we lose Maine.
Yeah, so that's Melissa DeRosa, the former chief of staff to Andrew Cuomo. That Andrew Cuomo, the one who destroyed his career after severe sexual misconduct allegations that Melissa DeRosa defended, went to bat for, and then was caught doing retaliatory actions against the women who accused Cuomo of those things. But it doesn't matter. This is besides the point. The point is that she is on television saying that she would rather have a Republican win the Senate in Maine than a progressive Graham Plattner. Corporatist Democrats like Andrew Cuomo, like Melissa DeRosa, are more aligned with the Republican Party than they are with progressives, because progressives pose more of a threat to their bottom line than Republicans do, right? If Melissa DeRosa continues to run corporate Democrats and continues to run against Republicans, she continues to make money, right? However, if leftists enter office, if progressives, real progressives enter office, they're not going to hire Melissa DeRosa. They don't need her. So she loses money, she loses her job, right? It is in her best interest to ensure that corporate Democrats and Republicans continue to win. And remember what happens if Republicans win. More anti-union legislation, more anti-abortion legislation, more anti-black legislation, more anti-immigrant legislation, more anti-queer legislation, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Because for Melissa DeRosa, it's all hypothetical. It won't impact her. She is rich. She is wealthy. She will be fine, right? When she talks about Democrats standing up for working people, it doesn't mean anything to her. It's all a game. It's all a game, because regardless of who wins, Republicans or corporatist Democrats, her life will not change. Her life only changes when real progressives start to win and take power, because then her income changes. Then she loses power, right? So a reminder where I stand on this: if I was living in Maine, I would be screaming from the rooftops to get everybody to vote for Graham Plattner, okay? Do I disagree with some things he said in the past? I do. Do I think that he has made some mistakes? I do. Do I also think that a true progressive party, a true Democratic Party, should want people to change and evolve and be honest about their evolutions? That we should want to welcome people who have grown and understood their growth, who have learned from their life and learned from the world around them? I do. Good. Big tent. Vote Graham Plattner.
So that's Graham Plattner. That's in Maine. Now, the Democrats haven't endorsed Graham Plattner. He does have a troubled past. He was a Nazi. He had a tattoo. He got the tattoo removed when he explained it. I don't know what you could do. Can people change? Can people change? Do we allow people to change? But that's not even really the key. That's not even the key thing I want you to take away from this. I want you to take away that said there are moderate Democrats are fine with losing that seat, because we could gain that seat in the Senate. Democrats don't want to win. That's what I keep saying over and over again. Democrats do not want to win, or don't care if they win, especially if they're a corporate AIPAC Democrat, because they're going to get money regardless. See, a lot of people are okay. Chuck Schumer, Jeffries, Booker. They're okay. Her, whatever her name is, I forgot her name. But they're okay, right? They're okay with if the Republicans win. They don't, you know what I'm saying? They don't see the fact that we need to win the Senate in order to impeach this man and get him out of office. This man has us in a war where the gas prices are going up when this country could fail. after 2 years under him, he could fail. He is delusional and losing his mind, and we have to get him out of office. That's priority number one. But she's talking about a man who had a past, who has talked about it, who is saying he's changed and wants a chance to redeem himself as a senator from Maine, but she can't have it because why? He's progressive. He's progressive. He doesn't want to keep the status quo. He wants to upheave the status quo. And then that's the problem with the Democrats. Right there. And we're going to keep that going. We got another message from him because this is another message from the same one who just talked about the other one. But I don't know if you saw what's happening in New York with the mayor. They had the Israeli Day parade. They do this in New York. They have a Puerto Rican Day parade. This is in New York. They do that. It's a diverse area. I don't know why it's an Israel Day parade though. Why is it not a Jewish Day parade? Because because everything. So he's the first mayor apparently that doesn't want to go. He said he's not going to go because he's not going to go and celebrate a genocidal nation that is in the middle of committing genocide. They're still killing Muslims over in there because they feel they have the right to do it. So he said he wasn't going to go. He said, I'm going to provide protection as he should, but I don't feel like I should go. So the fact that he's not there, they're livid. They're livid. They say they're accusing him of being anti-Semitic and accusing him of hating Jews, hating America. This man is loved in New York. This mayor has shown that everything that the other mayors said they couldn't do, they could have did it. They all could have did it. They all could have did exactly what he's doing if they wanted to actually help people and not play political games. So we got a real mayor in New York who's making the people love him. They voted him in, and he's doing the job. But now you have a constituency of people, Zionists, that want to support Israel at all costs, are telling him, are accusing him of being anti-Israel, anti-Semitic. They don't actually give any evidence of it. They just say that he is, because he didn't come to the parade, because he isn't kissing Israel's ass and taking money from them. Therefore, he must be anti-Semitic.
Hey there, I'm a Jew in New York, and I want you to watch this real quick.
Mamdani is an anti-Semite. His father, Mahmoud Mamdani, is an anti-Semite.
I had this woman on my video. Apparently, she was on Bravo on some show, one of them reality shows, and her husband kept using the N-word, saying nigger, too often. They had to kick her off the show. Now, this woman is here, and now she's attacking Zohran Mamdani, saying that he's anti-everything with no proof, just because he's there. This is what she does. This is her grift.
Was one of the lead organizers at Columbia University's campus encampment. They don't just hate Israel, they hate America, and this is a growing trend within the Democratic Party.
Her name is Lizzie Savetsky. She's a super well-known Trump-supporting Zionist and agitator who basically makes a living off of harassing people who support basic human rights in New York City. So, of course, I have to ask what America she's referring to, what Americanism she's referring to, because she's been very clear what kind of America she wants.
I also wanted to destigmatize voting for Donald Trump because there was so much stigma around that and people getting canceled for being associated. And I wanted to say, hey guys, I'm going to vote for him and here's why. And it's okay if you want to do the same.
So Lizzie believes that saying that the free press is the enemy of the people is American, or that federal police murdering protesters in the street is American, or that trying to illegally overrun and overthrow the election results of a presidential election is American. But here's where I get confused. Growing up Jewish, I was taught that our responsibilities were based and grounded in calling out oppression, calling out hatred, calling out bigotry, calling out colonialism, imperialism, and yes, genocide. That is quite literally what Judaism was to me and my family. It was understanding what oppression looked like and calling it out every single fucking time. That's why it's so weird to me when I hear mainly Zionist Jews in America saying they're defending America while attacking the very things that made America a refuge for Jewish immigrants and refugees. Freedom of speech, freedom of the press, freedom of religion, freedom to protest, right? These are not threats to America. This is what makes America, America. For me and my Judaism, it's about as Jewish as I can get to call out people like Lizzie, disingenuous, hateful, and bigoted, for being bigoted. Because as a Jew, it's my responsibility to call her bullshit out. When someone looks at a Muslim man, the son of immigrants, who won an election overwhelmingly in one of the most diverse cities in the world, and their reaction to that is to call him un-American, I think that's more of a reflection on their Americanism than it is on his. So from one Jew to another, if your definition of Americanism doesn't include immigrants, doesn't include Muslims, doesn't include brown people, doesn't include Palestinian Americans, then maybe, just maybe, Zoran is not the un-American one. Maybe the un-American one is you. Goodbye.
So I think you can follow him. You should follow him. All the information in the show notes. And that's this name, the tags that you see next to these people. That's their handle on either social media, Facebook, Instagram, or YouTube. So I put that out there because you should follow them. It's good to see that we do. It's good to see Jewish people and Jewish Americans actually coming out and pointing out the evil and the wrong that Israel is calling. There is a lot of them. There is a lot of them. There is a difference between the Zionists and Judaism. Even Israel, even Jews that live in Israel are calling out the Zionist problem. So it's good to hear from them. And like I said, in my experience, when I first moved to this area from Atlanta a long time ago, my first best friend was a little Jewish kid, Danny Rosenberg. And I don't know if I just knew he was Jewish. That's all I knew. And why did I even know that? Because we spent we would be over each other's houses, and then his family was Jewish, my family was black, and it was like, and I was the only black kid in school. And he might have been the only Jewish kid too, so we might have just hung out with each other because there was anti-Semitism in that school, in that neighborhood. And for me, I've always been like, I've always tried to hang out with the underdogs. I don't know, maybe I was an underdog too. I don't know, but I always would like hang out with the people who would seem to be outcasts. I would say outcasts. So maybe I was an outcast too. I don't know, but I seem to bounce back in different circles. So I always wanted to hang out with people who were interesting and kind of smart and kind of different. I don't want to hang out with the dudes that thought they were popular. That wasn't my thing. Because really, I like to stay in the background. You can get more done in the background. Maybe I always wonder why I wasn't bullied when I was in school. I don't know. I'm not that big. I'm only 5'7", so I don't know. I just never paid no attention. I had one incident in school, and I just like, you know what? I'm not dealing with this. Went and got my shit and took it back, just like it wasn't nothing. And they were like, if I would have had, somebody took my watch when I was in the gym as a joke. Like the little cool dudes took my watch. I had it out. Right, and it was like I'm like looking for my watch, and then I go down there and I see it, they had it, and I went and got my watch back, and they were like, "Oh, I would have been screaming, hollering, and blah blah blah." I'm like, "For what?" I just went and got my watch back. I ain't had to do none of that. You know what I'm saying? I don't have nothing to prove with you people. I don't know. I just never. But that's how I live my life. I just ignore stuff and keep going, regardless. I'm gonna keep going to do what I need to do, and not worry about the bullshit. And I probably need to do that more. I'm talking to myself right now. All right, so we're going to go on because I want to play this from Zoran Madami, his response to just the craziness of these people who are attacking him in New York, calling him an anti-Semite, calling him a Jewish hater for no reason at all other than he's not going to bend the knee to Israel.
I said on the campaign trail that I wouldn't be attending the parade, and I've made my views on the Israeli government abundantly clear. And I also said on that same campaign that I would have a responsibility as the mayor of the city to ensure the safety and security of each and every New Yorker. And I don't believe that my presence as the mayor should determine whether or not a New Yorker is safe or secure. That is something we take incredibly seriously. And what we also take seriously as an administration is to ensure that we are delivering on not just keeping Jewish New Yorkers safe, but ensuring that Jewish New Yorkers understand that they belong in this city, that they are cherished by this city. And I'm proud of the work that our Mayor's Office to Combat Anti-Semitism, headed by Felisa Wisdom, has been doing in leading a first-in-the-nation municipal response to anti-Semitism by actually crafting an affirmative vision of how to tackle it, as opposed to just how to respond to incidents of it. And we've coupled that with an investment of more than an 800% increase in the Office to Prevent Hate Crimes in funding that will actually support the very programs we've seen be effective at that kind of work.
So that's what I'm saying, though. This man is so cool. I call him America's mayor now because they call Rudy Giuliani America's mayor, and that was not correct. At the time, I guess it was because of the 9/11, the towers came down. But this man seems to be doing the job. He is graceful, he's articulate, and he is driven to do what he's going to do, and he's able to communicate it well. So when they attack him, I don't see what they're attacking. I don't see what they're attacking. I don't see why they're attacking him like this, other than he refuses to bend the knee and do what he's told by Israel like everyone else does. And I don't know why they're doing it. We try to figure out why they're doing it. We don't know. All right, I think we got one more video to get through. Well, actually, two more videos to get through to deal with AIPAC and Israel, because there's just a lot going on with them. And this video is from one of the people from the flotilla, and it kind of brought like something up in me because the way she's so passionate, because she was involved with the flotilla, and that flotilla, the one that was going to aid Gaza, and the Israelis felt they had the right to go in and intercept the flotilla and then torture the people on the flotilla and just do that in international waters. And no country responded to aid those people, and they knew what was happening. And I think that's a shame. And I don't know why they're letting a little bully on the block keep doing these things. But this woman, she's motivated.
After this interceptions, I realized that the scale of violence have become worse and worse. But that also shows that they are desperate. The desperation is high. They try so hard to stop us. I would rather be dropped dead than to live with the reality where genocide and the illegal blockade on Gaza exists. And I know my ancestors who fought for the freedom of my country, they would rather me to be dropped dead than not act and break the illegal siege of Gaza.
I get moved every time I hear that. Every time I hear it. Because it's like... Okay, let's move on. One more, and then we'll move on from this. But it's all bad. It's nothing. There's no real good news. It's all bad. But we'll have one more video of what's happening, right? And this is another thing why I have these two links up top. That you should have these on your bookmarks, and you should be, anytime you're thinking about voting or researching the candidate, this is where you want to go to find out where they stand in this big issue of Israel and the influence that they have over our country and our politics. You definitely want to keep those sites handy and go, and anytime you want to make a candidate, and if you need some clarification, reach out to them and ask them about their votes, and ask them about the money they got from AIPAC. They may have taken it in the past, has been updated, but then there are candidates who started out not taking money, but they all of a sudden started taking money. And but the people are on it, though. I'm telling you, you have to add independent media to your diet, your media diet, because if you don't, you're not going to really know, what's happening. And if you want to be responsible and know what's happening, I'm not sure. I think I'm off. If you're not sure what's happening, then hold on 1 second. I thought I was gonna make it through this one without making a mistake, but I think I have a mistake. I really want that video too. I think I missed it. Okay, so I may have to. I'm gonna see what this video is. Maybe the wrong one. I think we have to see. I didn't make it. I didn't make it without making a mistake. I don't think I did. Yep, I missed it. How did I do that though? So the video we just played, we'll see what this is.
I don't really trust rich niggas to tell me what I'm doing wrong with my money, man. I'm not gonna listen to Kevin O'Leary. I don't think he's telling me something that doesn't benefit his own pocket. I don't believe that guy, man. I don't believe any of them rich niggas telling me shit. If I was in that Amazon warehouse when Jeff Bezos came back from space with that fuck ass cowboy hat on, and he said to them, "You guys made this happen," oh man, he wouldn't have made it out of there. These niggas will sit up here and tell you, you niggas are spending $20 on burgers and fries instead of saving that 20 and letting it make money on itself. Why the fuck is a burger and fries $20? I'm not listening to you, man. You don't know how much a banana costs. Okay. You want to tell me what I'm doing wrong with my money? What, nigga? Fuck you. He said, you guys are spending $10,000 a year on DoorDash complaining about the economy. Mind you, right? This person that they've magically created that's spending $10,000 a year on DoorDash does not exist. This is not a real person. Also, if it is, nigga, that shit not changing nothing. An extra $10K a year is not buying shit. They want you to eat like a fucking toddler. Gen Z's not buying the real, what they really need. All ice, some Dash seasoning, and mayonnaise on a plate, a paper plate with a plastic fork. This is how you save money. Shut the fuck up, man. Niggas back then was working at McDonald's and bought houses. You work at McDonald's now and go try to apply for an apartment. That white girl at the front drinking that Diet Coke, jingling them keys, you know what she gonna say to you when you walk in there and tell her you work at McDonald's? She gonna say, fuck you. And she gonna call the other white girls out there and they gonna jump you. They don't even make 3 times the rent. And they telling me I gotta make 3 times. Nigga, fuck you, man. There's not enough DoorDash in the world to fix that problem. It's the richest favorite thing to do to tell you that it's your problem. That you're the reason shit is fucked up. You're the reason why pollution is skyrocketing. Because you drink out of plastic straws. No, it's not the military just Boston Tea Party and fucking jet fuel directly into the ocean. No, it's not fucking Jim Bob driving a fucking H3 Hummer down a food line. It's not the corporations creating data center after data center and turning the water into chocolate milk. It's our fault. We fucked up. These rich niggas, man. This country has showed that rich niggas can do whatever they want. And as long as they make it seem like it's our fault, it's cool. They found the most amount of cocaine that they've ever seen on a, what was it, JP Morgan boat? And they said, nah, don't worry about that. These niggas is moving weight. Bro, these niggas don't even pay taxes. I never understand the bootlicking from niggas. How do we get to this point where you look at rich people and be like, nah, I fuck with them? There's only a certain amount of wealth in the world. The more money they have, the less money there is for everyone else. Niggas voted for Donald Trump and say he's a different rich guy. He not like the rest of those rich guys. Womp womp, second term, even more evil than the other rich guys. $6 billion plus made while in office, exempt from fucking tax audits from the IRS, sued the IRS and they paid him with taxpayer money, your money from your job that you worked for. Womp womp, another rich nigga fucked you. You fell for it again. Who knew? Ronald Reagan did it again. It's Ronald Reagan all over again.
All over again. So I don't know who that guy is, but that was out of sequence. I did find my right video. So that was my section for Billionaire Lives, and now we're going to talk about Kevin O'Leary because he's the worst. I don't watch reality TV, so I really didn't know who he was. He just all of a sudden showed up because he wants to build a data center in New Mexico or someplace like that. I think it's Phoenix. And he wants to build a huge data center, and he's fighting the people there. He's a Canadian. I don't know why he's coming here to build a data center, but obviously he's really showing himself to be an ass because he's talking out of pocket. So that, I don't know who that guy was, but that was a funny dialogue about rich people with Kevin O'Leary, and he's right. Like, you can't go get a hamburger? I do things like when I work corporate, I usually take my lunch every day. I usually don't buy lunch. I know the young guys, they used to go out every day. I used to go out with them like on a Friday or maybe once a month, but they did eat out a lot. But they made a lot of money, and they still have a lot of money because they invested well. So Kevin O'Leary is wrong. You should enjoy your life. Don't spend crazy. But going out spending $20 on lunch is not a bad thing. Just don't do it every day. Actually, I'm more concerned about the health issues of eating out too much than the issues with the issues with the food. All right, so that was an early video from the section, and I got one more video on Kevin O'Leary. But right now, I'm gonna go back to where I was before, and we were talking about track AIPAC and AIPAC Dems, and you have to make sure you check your AIPAC, track AIPAC or votelog.org to make sure that your representative is going to be representing you and not Israel.
Breaking news out of San Francisco right now, where just days until a major election is about to take place, it is now revealed that one of the top candidates is secretly taking hundreds of thousands of dollars from pro-Israel lobby groups. Journalist Ryan Grimm has been investigating how AIPAC and other pro-Israel lobby groups are secretly funneling money into PACs with other names to donate to California candidates. And with only a few days until elections, it has just been uncovered that Connie Chan, Democratic candidate for California's 11th congressional district, has been taking nearly $500,000 from these groups. This is Nancy Pelosi's hand-picked candidate to succeed her, and she now has a red card on AIPAC. Now, there is only one candidate in this district of San Francisco that is refusing to take any money from pro-Israel groups, and that is Shoykot Chakrabarty, the true progressive in this race.
There you go. So that's a Nancy Pelosi candidate. All of a sudden is a AIPAC Dem. So Nancy Pelosi made a lot of money while she was in office. She's a liberal, not a leftist, not a progressive. She was definitely a corporate AIPAC Dem. Like I said, those are the people that were in office who let everything get to the point where we are now. If these people would have fought and not been corporate AIPAC Dems, if they would have really been about their business, we wouldn't be here right now. They were compromised for some money. And then, I heard one lady say today that, somebody was telling her about all the money the president has made since being in office. A white lady on a golf cart. She said, yeah, he deserves every penny. I swear to God, you can't make it up. You cannot make it up. These people are, if you make the money, you're all right. Don't worry about it. All right, so we're gonna go right now to, I just want to talk about a couple of videos. We're almost done. A couple of videos about what's happening in New Jersey, and the fact that the Delaney Detention Center, they're having a hunger strike there, apparently, and a work strike. Apparently, the people who they're detaining. Okay, remember a lot of these. The way the narrative is that these are all illegals, right? That's what the MAGA people would say. They're all illegals, and the Democrats just want the illegals. They just want illegals to take over the country. I don't know why they think we believe that. I don't know why they think we want open borders. It's just the narrative that they believe. That's the narrative that they got from Fox News and all these right-wing pundits. And then remember, all these people, these influencers are being paid by AIPAC, and they're being paid by the Republican Party to put these lies out. They don't believe it, that all these people are illegal. Of course, they're not illegal. They're undocumented or they're documented, right? Most of the people right now they're documented. They're waiting on court dates. They're doing everything they're supposed to do. They're asylum seekers. They're green card holders, and they're doing everything they were supposed to do in order to stay in this country, work in this country, provide for their family, add to the GDP, and pay taxes, right? Now, the majority of them are locked up in these detention centers, and we're paying for it, like $140 per person per day. We're paying for it, and then these private companies are trying to maximize profit by not providing them with good food, and then having them work in the detention centers, taking care of it, cleaning up and things like that for like $1 a day, right? And we're not going to go into the allegations of rape. Their women ended up pregnant, And then they're deporting, because when you're pregnant, you have a baby here. That baby's a citizen, and they're deporting these babies. It is going to be a horrific thing to see when these things open. And now we have remember we haven't heard much about the what ISIS has been doing ever since Minnesota. Everything's been quiet, but it's been still going on, right? And right now they are really protesting up against in New Jersey because of like I said, the conditions and the bad food, but they're really rioting up there. They're upset about what's happening. They're having hunger strikes. It must be really bad for this to be happening. So instead of sitting down with the people and trying to address the issues of the bad food and no medicine, people getting sick, raped, beaten, instead of addressing that problem, the New Jersey governor, who was a Democrat, decided that she wants to call the state police. And for some reason, when you call the state police, it gets out of hand. So I guess she's decided that the state police need to aggressively fight the protesters, and that's what's been happening. It's the same thing. Smoke gas, they're beating people. Just because the people in the Delaney Detention Center are treating the people inhumanely. And I you know, I would never want to have that on my jacket, on my record, that I was in there and I saw what was happening, because it's gonna come out, right? The people are gonna come out of there. The majority of the people that are there will not be deported. It will come out, and people will start pointing fingers, and people will start going to jail for this. Right? But people can't think past their prejudices, their biases, and their short-term comfort of getting paid to be a brutal person. Maybe they're just sadistic ass motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? Maybe that's just the case. Sorry if I cursed, but you know, I curse a lot. But I don't curse a lot on here because I want it to make this a PG experience. I don't know why. This is gonna be, take it away. Let's talk about let's see what's going on in the detention centers. It's not a good thing. It is not a good thing. And I think I have the right one. I only messed up one time so far, right?
So what happened last night at Delaney Hall in New Jersey is a tipping point. The governor sent the state police to beat the protesters, and that's what they did. They beat them. They tear gassed them. There are people inside a concentration camp in the United States of America, and they are currently on a hunger strike because of the conditions inside that facility. They are beating people. They are forcing them to work for nothing, and there are reports that the food they do have is filled with maggots.
And you know
it is a concentration camp, and to call it anything else is delusional. And the fact that the governor came out and tried to move the protesters to a First Amendment zone. Our entire country is a First Amendment zone. She has failed her state and this country. Our governors literally are our last line of defense. And doing nothing would have been better than what she did. But sending state troopers out to attack protesters that want to stop a concentration camp, she's chosen a side. She's chosen the side of Gestapo, fascism, and a concentration camp. And it's a turning point, it's a tipping point, and it's sad. I really should have been there instead of at a stupid political event last night.
So this is what we see in this country every time, like a Republican or the last two Trump been in office, right? We see people being beaten, gassed, and it happens over and over again. And you always see, like I always say that when we think about the Nazis, right, in Germany in the 30s, and then the 40s, and then the war, and then the genocide, and then the people went along with it, and we think that it wouldn't happen here. It could happen here. It's happening here right now. It's happening here right now because we don't know. It's going to be horrific. It is going to be horrific when they finally get those things open. And I don't know what. I do not have. Thank God I have enough sense to think, you know what I'm saying, that I maybe shouldn't be here, because if I'm here, when the wheel turns, and things change, I may be on the wrong end of history, right? Or I may end up in jail, or I may end up sued. And those people, remember those people that got out January 6th? Trump not getting back in office. This is his last term. So this new crew, if you think you're gonna get a pardon, you're not gonna get pardoned. And the people are like, and the people that thought they were gonna get some money from the slush fund, they're upset because they wanted that money. They wanted the taxpayer money after they committed crimes. I don't let it sink in. So we're gonna do one more video from there because I actually want to just play how it's show how it's happening, what's happening there in New Jersey right now. But the state police decided, and the governor of New Jersey decided that this is what needed to happen.
Police horses, batons, tear gas, and flash grenades. These are the scenes outside of the ICE detention facility, Delaney Hall, in Newark, New Jersey.
State police are actively deploying tear gas and flash grenades at protesters outside of Delaney Hall. Officers have made no differentiation between journalists and activists and protesters out here. I've seen them hit people with batons today indiscriminately. I've seen them use flash grenades against protesters. Protesters are trying to build a barricade right now between them and the state police because of the methods that they're using for crowd control.
Inside the detention facility, detainees are on their 8th day of a hunger and labor strike.
So we started off with 300 or more. I would say it was more on the hunger and the labor strike. Since then, we are day 9. Those numbers have significantly dropped. I would say probably less than 100 right now on the hunger strike, but 100% of the folks who have been doing labor on the labor strike, we also seeing a lot of intimidation and retaliation and coercion. They're being forced to sign documents in English, many who don't even understand the language. They also don't even understand when ICE comes in and communicates, there's no translators.
So that's what's happening just right now, every day up in New Jersey. And it's amazing to me that we have soldiers in the Gulf sitting on aircraft carriers, right? And then we have this happening in New Jersey, Minnesota, all across the land. And these people that sit in the White House are saying that they love America and this is their vision for America. And the Republicans that are allowing this to happen, this is their vision for America. The Supreme Court, the 6th, this is their vision for America, right? This is what they want to happen, right? This didn't happen while I was growing up in America. This wasn't happening. But now this is what's happening in America because this is what they want. This is what when they say make America great again, because we already went through all this, right? We've been through Vietnam, we've been through the 60s, we've been through the civil rights, and then the Jim Crow law. We've been through that. Was that what made America great, or the overcoming of those things is what made America great? I think that they are lost to us, and now we're just in constant battles just to treat people right. Just treat people right. All right, so we got another video. I played the other video about Kevin O'Leary out of sequence, a very funny gentleman. But I have another one I want to play, and oh boy. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, this is it. Yeah, this is it. This is going to be Kevin O'Leary. This is basically this guy is doing he's doing a 100-something day of crazy stuff that these billionaire AI people say. Like this is insane.
I don't really trust rich niggas
That's
to tell
not the
me.
right one.
Bill Maher, the famous comedian. I've known Bill since I was like 18, 19.
Imagine posting a video of yourself proudly crying over your new 6-figure watch and then acting like the average American is struggling financially because they're spending too much on lunch.
Oh. This is Kevin O'Leary.
The only one in the world. It has made a grown man weep.
I can't stand it when I see kids that are making $70,000 a year spending $28 for lunch. I mean, that's just stupid. It's just, think about that in the context of that being put into an index and making 8 to 10% a year for the next 50 years.
50 years. How old is he? How old is Kevin O'Leary? How old is he? That's crazy, right? That's crazy for him to say that. He's crying over a watch. Now, if you're making $70,000 a year, you should save money. That makes sense. But also, you should eat and you should invest. Now, he didn't. He has to be like either close to 50 or a little bit over 50. White people age differently, so I don't know. But he looked like he's up there, and he's saying that you at 28 putting 70%, $28 in index fund to do what? Be able to afford that watch? You'll be able to afford that watch? Because he spent a lot of money on a watch. No, that's not how he got that money. So govern yourself accordingly. Govern yourself accordingly. I swear to God, if I can make it through these things without making a mistake. So we're gonna go into some hope, and I have a comedy routine that actually is very timely from Dave Chappelle.
Bill Maher, the famous comedian. I've known Bill since I was like 18, 19 years old, and I've never said this publicly, but that guy. I'm so tired of this little smug cracker commentary.
Me too.
These motherfuckers act like because I did a comedy festival in Saudi Arabia, I somehow betrayed my principles. They said, well, Saudi Arabia killed a journalist, and rest in peace, Jamal Khashoggi. I'm sorry that he got murdered in such a heinous fashion. But, and no buts, like, period. And also, I mean, look, bro, Israel's killed 240 journalists in the last 3 months. So I didn't know y'all was still counting.
Days ago. Days ago. He did go on with more, but that was pretty funny. Yeah. They talk about the one the Saudi Arabia. They talk about the MBS killed that guy, which was wrong. And they did business with him, but we have videos of Israel targeting journalists and killing them at any given time because they don't want the truth out. That's how they keep the truth out. And we could be killed too. Because the Mossad don't play. They don't play. Stone Cold Killers. And we thought that was good back in the day. Remember like movies like Raid on the Tebby? We thought that was good. Now we know what was really going on. And see, that's what I'm thinking though. The animus. Back then when we watched that movie Raid on Tebby, we were thinking that the Muslims in the area were just picking on Israel. You know what I'm saying? But Israel was the bad guy all along. All along. We had it wrong. I think that hold on, I got one more. That was pretty funny, right? I think it was funny. So we're gonna go in. I said we're gonna go into some hope. I'm gonna play. I'll play some spoken words, go, something that should be inspiring, something that we still should be looking forward to. But I don't want to do spoken word this time. I want to do something different. I tried to do this before, but it got banned because it had music underneath it. It wasn't the music that I picked. It was just music that was under it. But this is something I like, and it's about skateboarding on longboards. I had tried to skateboard when I was a kid, and I used to walk around with a skateboard like I was cool, like I could actually skateboard. Until I tried to skateboard down the hill, I fell, and I ain't never skateboard again. That's not something I could do. I love mountain biking, going downhill. On mountain biking, I do that without falling. I get kind of crazy with it. I used to anyway. I'm not sure about now. I don't think my reflexes are the same. I had a tragic accident. I was dating a woman. I just thought about this. And I don't know. I was dating a woman, and she wanted to ride mountain bikes too, because I used to go camping, and we went camping, and then, I go and I ride. We were riding a little downhill, a little technical trail, and she was trying to keep up with me, and we hit it was a curve, and you had to hit it hard to get around the curve, and she kept going straight into the trees, down the bushes. She cut herself up, but she wasn't mad though, because she knew she shouldn't have been trying to keep up. But she was okay. That was a good girl. What was her name? Rita. Yeah. That's a story. So anyway, let's go ahead and check this out. I hope this is the right one. And I took out the music. I know it's like music that can be played on YouTube, and I just like to watch these videos and watch these guys and gals from all over the world do these longboards down these hills. It looks dangerous, but they do it with such grace. And the time I tried to do that, ride a skateboard down the hill, it wasn't a longboard. I fell. Just like, because the whole thing, when it gets to a certain fast, it starts, jiggling, and I just went, and that was it. That was my skateboarding career. But I had a very good bike career. Skateboarding wasn't my thing. All right, so that's it, you all. As you can see, this is the 31st episode. I've been on it. I'm on time. I have good energy right now, because I have good energy because we're gonna fight. We have to be up for the fight. We have to win. There's no choice to it. I still don't know about our chances. I still don't know if the Democrats want to win. I haven't seen any sign of it. I'm still asking, where are they? Why don't we hear anything from them? If I were running the DNC, I would start a YouTube page, and I would have the Dems talking to the talking heads, the independent media, telling us on a regular daily basis what can we expect from the Dems after we win the midterms, and why we should be supporting the Dems for the midterms. I don't see that. All I see is Democrats giving in, being sold out. So it's iffy as to what's going to happen, especially with Israel and this war, if you call it a war. But we have to stay into it. No spoken word today, but we do have, what we got. We do have some go-go, which I want to hear. This is going to be one of my favorite bands. This band is by Air Essence, one of the premier bands when I was growing up. These guys have to be about the same age that I was when I was going to the go-go back then, but they still are there doing their thing. And we'll play this, and after that, we out. So remember that this fight is going to be important. It's going to be important that we vote. It's going to be important that we really check out our candidates, see who they support, and do they support the country, or do they support the foreign government that's trying to influence the country? Are they trying to give all our information over to the billionaires, or do they care about the people? I call this show Progressives or Bust, because I do think that we need to not pick the guys who are good with the DNC. We need to pick the people who the DNC don't want us to pick. The people that we pick that they want to get away from because it's going to affect their bottom line. It's affecting our whole life by picking the wrong people. All right, so what y'all want to hear? Y'all want to hear some go-go? This is Red Essence from back in the day. I did not change that name. See, look at that. I could be a good producer. That's what they call car essence. Alright, y'all. I'll see y'all on Wednesday. Stay strong, man. Stay strong. We can do this. Peace out.